Hello wonderful human beings, how you doing? Well, today is week number 6 or episode 6, as however you want to word it, I don't mind. And we're going to do some answering of questions. Yes, I've had some questions, and I've also had an idea as well from one of the question askers. Is that a word? Don't even think that's a word. But anyway, I'm rambling already. I need to get on. So the first question comes from Sarah Barnes, and she says, would you ever ride a motorcycle again? The answer is yes, if I'm able to physically. I would not like to put anyone on the road out there in danger if I wasn't physically able to do everything. Do you know what I mean? Look behind me, all this sort of thing. Same goes for a car. I'm unable to drive a car at the moment as well. Unfortunately, I mean, I can drive like heavy goods vehicles as well, like your big 18-wheeler jobs. I actually passed the test 2 weeks before I had this accident, which is absolutely gut wrenching, to be honest, because I really wanted to drive the big lorries and stuff like that and drive around the continent and everything, and it's never going to happen now because the physicality of the whole thing. I might be able to like possibly drive obviously the lorries and stuff, but you know, or in America trucks, I think that's how they call them, but I wouldn't be able to maybe do all the physical labour that's involved with like curtain siders, moving of pallets with pallet trucks and things like that. So yeah, that's a real blow. It's a real kick in the teeth, as it were. But as for a motorcycle, if I'm physically able down the road, as it were, then yes, it doesn't scare me to get back on a motorcycle. I don't feel in any way that it was my fault, the accident, so there wasn't like a fault with the bike or anything. This guy just decided he wanted to do a U-turn, didn't see me, and I ended up trapped underneath his car. So yeah, at the end of the day, motorcycle, definitely if I can physically. And she's also asked, what kind of bike did I have? Well, it wasn't like a big massive bike or anything. It was just basically to get me backwards and forwards to work. But it was a Honda CBR 125. I will pop a picture up with me sat on it. Yeah. There's going to be like pictures dropping up all the time when I'm talking today, just to give you guys a reference of what I'm talking about and stuff like that. So she's also put, as you can see, really like these videos. Keep it up. I like listening to your story. Well, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the question. Brilliant. Any of you guys out there want to do the same as what Sarah's done? Then great. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next question, and this comes from Tech Talk, and this is Spencer, and you'll probably know him from me talking about him in the past and stuff. He's also got his Twitch channel, which is Kill3R94. So he's asked, basically, here's an idea for your next video. What was your first ever gaming moment? Or if you want to build up on that, do a brief history of my gaming life. Well, that's basically what I'm now gonna. This is where the thoughts and dreams sort of goes into this specialist thing from what Spencer's put. So, my first ever sort of video gaming moment, not board games, but video gaming moment, would go back to the Spectrum. I'm not entirely sure whether America or the rest of the world got the Spectrum, but it was a big deal here. It wasn't a console, it was like the first sort of home computer that was generally available to everyone. The very first console would have been the SNES, which was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Again, pictures will be floating about on the screen and stuff for you guys to have reference to. Games and stuff. Well, there's so many. There's absolutely so many, but some that sort of that I can relate back to, that I can sort of, you know, games that I paid a lot of time with and stuff like that, and things, you know, with obviously with school and stuff like that, you know, because you must study. It's not all about games. Um, but yeah, there was games like uh, Outrun. There was Paperboy, Elite. There was like School Days and Back to School. I mean, I could go on for ages with these games. I'm going to put some sort of imagery up there to give you an idea of some of the games and stuff that I played in that. Um, so yeah, after the, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to like flip through. But if you guys have got questions about anything, then great. After sort of the Spectrum and that, I moved on to the Commodore Amiga, which was the next sort of step up from like the Commodore 64. Now my friends had Commodore 64s, and back then games came on cassettes, and even music came on cassettes. And you guys were probably thinking, if you got younger viewers, what's a cassette? Well, again, there'll be pictures and stuff like that, and your parents will definitely know what I'm on about, because you used to get video cassettes as well, but you used to get tape cassettes, which we could record songs, and you could also buy obviously singles and stuff like that on cassettes, and you could buy albums on cassettes, instead of like where you got now with obviously you like Spotify and iTunes, where you just download them and there's no. But what even before then, there was obviously records and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, computer games when they first came out, with things like Dizzy and things like Outrun and Paperboy and all that, they came on cassettes, and like Monkey Island 2 was amazing, and stuff. These games all came on like a cassette, and the downside with them was it took ages to load. I mean, around about 3 to 4 minutes, and you probably think 3 to 4 minutes is long. When you're sat there and all you're hearing is this high pitched like sort of squeal and scream, which is sort of like, and every time it does that bit, like, you know what I mean, it would load a line of the loading screen. So you guys have got it so easy today, it's incredible. Like, but yeah, for every and I do apologise for making these weird noises, but for every little like noise, a line would fill in down the screen to load the screen, and you'd be waiting, and we've got a visitor from Mr. Cat on the stairs, as you can see, and you'd be waiting, and what would be happening is, like I say, the screen picture would build up, as it were, and it'd get to down the bottom here, and you'd be like praying that it loaded, and you're probably thinking, what? Because it'd get right down to the bottom, and then it'd go blue or whatever, and the whole screen would disappear. It'd go like sort of black, white, sort of go like that sort of thing, and then it'd probably come up with something like syntax error or something like that, and you'd be like, no. So you'd have to start all over again. You'd end up sort of blowing on the tapes. You'd be blowing like inside where the tape cassette would go, just in case there was any dust in there, just in case maybe that was the problem. You'd get a pen or a pencil, and you'd try and tighten, just in case, like, because like the tape used to come in back quite a bit loose and things like that. So you put it back in, and you'd hope and pray, and off you go, and boom, and then it'd load, and you'd be like, yes, thank God, and you could play the game. So once the game loaded, you'd be on there for quite a while, and the only reason being is to get the full value, because it took so long to let load. so yeah, that's my first sort of gaming history, as it were, like, sort of thing. And like I say, for you younger viewers and stuff like that, you won't know about that. You will if you go onto obviously YouTube videos, and you'll see possibly people that have put stuff up and that. But yeah, we've come a long way, definitely. From now, the fact that you can just completely, download a digital version, and you don't even need any physicality of a disc or anything now. And I'm on about, like, the loading screen, like when you get a game and it comes up, and it's like, and you get like so many different loading screens now, because you've got maybe different companies involved. I'm on about that very first screen, you know what I mean? It took so long to come, and the colours were, I think you had 16 colours, not 16 million, no, 16. So that was the the graphic level. Do you know what I mean? So you're like sort of at 16-bit, 8-bit sort of sort of graphics and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's nostalgic. It's a great era, and I wouldn't change it because I've gained so much from growing up with from the very sort of beginning, not all the way back to Pong or nothing like that. Not that old, but but yeah, it's like growing up with the way that things are now to like your PS4s, your Xbox Ones, and obviously your massive gaming Steam PCs and stuff like that. And obviously Wii U as well. Just throw that one in for any Nintendo watchers out there. So yeah, all I'm saying is, guys, that was my very first sort of experience, and then out came PlayStation. And at the time, it was like Sega versus Nintendo. They were the two big consoles, and they were the only ones you could get. So it was like Mega Drive 2s and Nintendo like Entertainment System 64s, things like that. They were like the big thing, and then Sony decided, we're gonna have a go at this. We'll put a little machine out there. Again, images will up they come. And they basically blew Nintendo and Sega away. Not completely, but they just suddenly was like, whoa. And it was like Nintendo, I think, and Sega at the time were very much, well, we don't have to really do much, we'll just put out these games, no one's really competition. And then Sony came along, produced massive competition, and as history goes, Sega in the end bowed out. They couldn't compete. They bowed out. They just concentrated then basically on just the games themselves, and they didn't go into the hardware. I think they went into like the Dreamcast, and that was like the final sort of where they were going to be like, and then they just decided it just wasn't financially, they couldn't compete. And Sony then obviously brought out the PlayStation 2, and probably one of the best consoles there's been. I mean, I'm sure people out there will disagree, but for games libraries and for the quality of games, the PlayStation 2 at the time of when that came out is amazing. And I don't think there's been another console, apart maybe from the Wii, the original Wii, that has took the world by storm in that way. Because what they've done is they came out with like an amazing piece of machine, and it was the first one then you could also play obviously like DVDs and stuff, like films and stuff on it as well. Like, so it wasn't just the games machine, you could play like your DVDs and stuff on it as well, and that and yeah. So PlayStation 2, that was the start of everything. And then obviously you know the progression there, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, obviously, and then obviously with PlayStation 2, Microsoft decided, ooh, hold on, should we jump in on this? So out came obviously Xbox, the original Xbox, big piece of equipment that thing was, heavy as hell. But yeah, that came out again, and that started to put pressure on Nintendo a lot. And Nintendo then tended to sort of, from being such the mainstay of games, started to drift into third slot, as it were. It just, I don't know what it was, but Nintendo have always been, don't follow what the public tend to want in a way, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to Nintendo. They just tend to do their own thing. They won't be told what to do. They won't go by what the public want, as it were. They'll just do, this is what we're going to make. Motorbike going past. This is what we're going to do, and if you like it, great. If you don't, there you go. It's still coming. We're still shipping it out. So yeah, obviously the Wii came out, and that was, everyone thought, oh, Nintendo's back. They're gonna, this is going to be the big thing. They sat on it, and obviously by sitting on it, PlayStation 3 came out, Xbox 360 came out, and they had HD graphics, and basically the Wii didn't. and they stayed there and they didn't bring anything out, and they were just, everyone was like, well, this is come on, what's Nintendo's response to this type of thing? But yeah, going back to me and what I had, I did have PlayStation 3, but I also had an Xbox 360, and then I had another Xbox 360, and then another Xbox 360 because of the horrible red ring of death. And I think we went through, by taking it back to the shops or sending it off to Microsoft, or I think we went through around about 5 in the end. And then we just gave up with Microsoft, and we concentrated. And when I say we, I mean me and my girlfriend and her 2 sons from a previous marriage, because we all had consoles and stuff, and we just got so frustrated with Microsoft's machine not working that it just steered us towards PlayStation, and then we've sort of been PlayStation pretty much then from then onwards. So I haven't actually got any Xboxes at the moment. I have, to my sins as it were, got a Wii U, only really because I like, as you can see in my other videos, I like Mario Kart. Love that game. I like sort of Mario Party. I like Smash Brothers. They're fun games. They're games that you can just, they're just great fun games that Nintendo have done, and I've got a feeling that's where Nintendo will eventually go. They'll just concentrate on the games, and I think when the NX comes out, I think that'll be Nintendo's final console. I've just got this feeling. I think a lot of people out there in the internet world have also got the same feeling that that's the way it's going to be. When, yes, the dreaded when I get my sort of compensation payout, as it were, I will be getting a gaming PC, so I'll be more into PC gaming. Obviously I've still got my PlayStation 4, still got my Wii U, will get an Xbox One as well, just so that way I have got games on all formats, and I can then put out video content for you guys, so that I can do videos on all the genres across the board, as it were. I'm not trying to brag about, oh my god, he's going to have all this money. I don't know how much I'm going to be honestly getting. Like, that's down to like lawyers and insurance companies and all that sort of thing. So hopefully that will come to a head very, very soon, because it's dragged on far too long. God damn it. It's dragged on far too long. Let me take some tablets here. Sorry about this, guys, that you see me. 2 seconds. Alright. Do apologise. Just want to note that this video is not sponsored by Coca-Cola, even though that's what I just drunk. I know you should drink water, but sod it. You know, I'm in enough pain as it is. Like, I'll drink whatever I want right now. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. We've basically brought things right up to date, and we throw in some pictures up there of games that have influenced me, games that I've loved. There's like main series and stuff like that have influenced me, like playing wise and stuff over the years. And there are games like Grand Theft Auto. Played them all. Love those games. A lot of people might think, oh god, violence and all that sort of thing. Yeah, but they're just fun. At the end of the day, you know, when you break down, they're not violent, and the reason that they're not violent is, no, there goes another cat. The reason, I think all the cats are trying to get on camera now since Tilly's appearance. But yeah, games aren't violent, and the simple reason is they are numbers. And you're probably thinking, what? They are like ones and zeros. They are basically binary. They are like different types of code. They are C++ code and stuff like that. They are basically code. That's all they are. Do you know what I mean? They are bits of code that make something look like a person hitting someone, and it is not real. It is not like we are playing a snuff video. At the end of the day, they are just entertainment for people to get out of the humdrum days, going to work and whatever it be, like, and just jumping into a fantasy world and slashing a dragon and driving a racing car and, like you say, punching someone down the street with a baseball bat as well. I don't know how you punch with a baseball bat, but you know what I mean. Um, or joining your friends like on a different planet, firing lasers and stuff like that. This is what games are. They're just entertainment, just like film. You know what I mean? There's like films, and films aren't real. They're just people's imagination and stories. Some of them are, obviously, because some films are based on true stories. But majority of films, like your Harry Potter's, aren't real. I'm sorry to say it, but he's not. And Lord of the Rings, these are like people's stories that people have put onto film. And the same goes with games. They are people's imagination that they put there for us to play. And if they're good fun and they're good gameplay, then we will enjoy them, we will play them, and they will hit the #1 charts, as it were, and get 9 and 10s out of 10. So I'm hoping that you like this video, guys. It's not really one of my thoughts and dreamsy type things as normal. It's just a little bit different because someone's decided to take time out of their day to ask me a few questions. So hopefully, guys, you will ask me questions for next week's. If you don't, you don't, and that's not a problem. So take care, because this video has, gone on a while now. So again, many thanks for tuning in. Many thanks for all your subscriptions. Many thanks for all the likes. Many thanks for all the comments. And if you want to mention, or if you even want like an advertisement of your channel along the bottom, then give me a shout. Check me out on all the normal things, your Twitters, your Facebooks, you know everything to get me anyway. Have a chat with me and we will sort something out. There is no problem. And even if you want to play some games with me, just search for Mumongu Gaming and you will find me. So send me a friend request. I'm quite happy to accept you as a friend, and we can then play some games together. And if you're happy, I will even pop you into some of the videos, but only if you're happy. I would never just put someone into a video if they didn't want to be there. So thanks a lot, guys, for taking the time to watch this. Have a good day, and I will catch you on the next one. So this is Dave from Mumongu, signing off. Cheers.